So picking up the second half of this volume lesson, second half of the homework for it, we're going to work some of these volume formulas backwards. So what that means is given the volume, find a dimension that's missing. So it looks like we're missing actually the height of this triangular prism. Okay, so there's two heights that we're going to be searching for, believe it or not, here. The 17 is actually the hypotenuse of the triangle base for this prism. So we're going to have to use Pythagorean theorem to solve for, say, this dimension right here. That way we can get the base or the height of the triangle, and then we'll go with that as the height of the whole prism. So first, the volume formula is base times height. Okay. However, the base, okay, we got to do the area of the base, which is the capital B. It's a triangle, so we're going to need 1/2 base times height. And we're actually missing, well, you know what? Let's show this right here. So the 8 is this way, so let's call that the 8. We'll make that the height. But we're going to have to work for this base because they're giving us a hypotenuse of 17. So let's call that B. We're still missing B. We're going to work for it. So let's do that right here. Quick Pythagorean theorem. All right, so we'll just run through that process. Oops. Okay, so this is again, oops, sorry about that. Going too fast here. So we'll square root to get rid of the squared. Inverse operations. Happens to be a nice number, 15. So now we're going to get that area of the base of this prism, which is 60. All right. Now, here's what's strange about this process here for students at first. We're told that the volume is 360. So that's going to go ahead and sub in for V. We calculated the area of the base to be 60. We're going to sub that in for area of the base. Now the height of the prism, believe it or not, is this here. They're calling it X, so we might as well. Let's get rid of multiply, so we're going to divide both sides. 60 on both sides. So we get X is 60. So it's actually feet. If we're being accurate, we really should say X is 60 feet. Okay, so, all right, moving on. Taking a look at this one again, they're giving us the volume. It is a cone. Identify the shape here. So our volume formula is 1/3 pi r squared h. We're given that. So let's go ahead and we're going to substitute in 147 pi for v. We don't know the radius. They gave us x for it, so we'll replace radius with x. Height of that cone is 9. Okay, so this is somewhat, there's a whole lot of ways to do this. So what I showed in class and what I'm going to do here might be a little bit different. Personally, I would prefer to combine whoops, that's not a like term. Combine these terms as best I can. When I do that, I'm going to get a 3 pi. You know, the three of these all multiply together. We can rearrange multiply, so that's 3 pi, and then it's x squared. You could do this individually, or I'm going to do this together. Divide both sides by 3 pi. Okay, be careful. Use the big fraction feature on our calculator. You know, that one where you hit the control divide sign so that you're not going to, you know, make any mistakes. This has got to go to 3 and the pi have to go together, or knock them out this way. So 147 divided by 3, what are we looking at? 49, I think. Yeah. So then we're going to square root to get rid of the squared, and we get 7. And technically, we should use centimeters, so x is 7 centimeters. All right, we got time for maybe, let's hold off on 19. Let's show a sphere problem. So this is a sphere. The formula for the volume is 4/3 pi r cubed. They give us a radius of 4. So what you're going to have to use in your calculator is this button. Okay, that's going to kick it up to the third power. So 4/3 times pi. Whoops, sorry, the calculator will do that for us. All right, so I let the calculator do that, and we get the volume is 268, and it said 2 places, so we're going to go 08, and it's cm cubed if we need that. Okay, let me see if there's another one. Okay, so what I want to do is move down to this one. So we're running out of time, keeping it under 10 minutes. So I want to do complete one that's going to be in the reverse. So they give us the formula. It is a sphere. They told us that in the problem. I just clipped that quick. So the volume formula is going to be 4/3 pi r cubed. And what we're going to have to do is we're going to sub in the 150 pi for volume. And, okay, so we're going to have to go through this process. Now, you know, personally, for this, I'd probably divide out the pi's right now, but let me just, you know, do that all at once. Technically, that's all together. So we're going to divide both sides by 4/3 and pi. Okay, to get rid of it, because it's multiply, right? So we want to divide that. So when you do this, make sure, again, in your calculator, use this big fraction, and it'll take care of this for us. So when you put that in, let's see, we get 112.5 is r cubed. You know, those are going to knock out. So that's what we get for r cubed. So this is what I get when I type that in the calculator. Okay. So what you had to do was you had to hit the second and then this key, which is going to put, which is going to put that symbol in your calculator. Then you'll fill that in. You'll put the 3 in there and the 112.5 in there. So R is going to be 4.8 now. The 7 is going to kick that up to 3, and we should be in centimeters. So that's how you would work the sphere formula backwards. Not easy, but that's what we got to do. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can fit this one in under the 10-minute mark here, which is going to be tough. Basically, what we're going to do is we're trying to figure out the space between. Okay, this is one of the major problems that we have, is the space between the two cylinders. Okay, so we're cutting it. Basically, we got a bigger cylinder, and we're going to cut out the smaller cylinder. So we've got 2 cylinders, okay, and we're going to subtract it. So bigger cylinder minus smaller cylinder. And got to hustle a little bit. Here's the key. From here to here for the bigger cylinder, okay, let's imagine that that's it, right? The bigger cylinder, the radius is 9. Typically, my students have struggled with that concept. Okay, so the radius of the bigger cylinder is 9. So you're going to have a pi r squared h. Okay, this other one's going to be a pi r squared h as well. What's going to happen is their radius, or radii, are going to be different. So you got a 9. Okay, let the calculator do that work. And then this one's going to be a 7. Okay, so basically when I type that in the calculator, there's a couple ways to do this, but here's the way I did it. I got 1272.345. Again, I'm not going to round yet. And this one came out 769.690. Okay, so then after that, if I subtract those, we're going to get the difference. Okay, so the you know, kind of the volume between, all right, you're going to subtract them. And we get this 502.66 because we're going to inches cubed, because we're going to round that to 2 places. So the volume between. All right, I'm a little over, so that's it.